In an increasingly chaotic world, the wisdom of Stoicism offers a guiding light for maintaining inner peace. Among the great Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius stands out not only as a ruler, but as a profound thinker who navigated personal and societal turmoil with grace. His reflections, captured in his timeless work Meditations, reveal 10 essential lessons that can help us cultivate calm amidst the storm. These lessons teach us that while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions. By embracing the Stoic principles of mindfulness, acceptance, and rationality, we can develop resilience against the pressures of daily life. In a world filled with uncertainty and distractions, Aurelius encourages us to focus on our thoughts and actions, reminding us that true strength lies in our ability to choose how we respond to adversity. As we explore these 10 essential Stoic lessons, we will discover practical strategies for not just surviving chaos, but thriving within it. Join me on this journey to uncover the enduring wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and learn how to cultivate a serene mind in the midst of life's inevitable storms. 1. The core of Stoicism, embracing the dichotomy of control. Epictetus introduced one of the fundamental concepts in Stoicism, the dichotomy of control. This principle emphasizes directing our energy toward factors within our influence, our actions, intentions, and responses. This teaching holds essential value for approaching life's uncertainties with calmness and resilience. It is rooted in the understanding that while many aspects of life lie beyond our control, including the actions of others and external events, our reactions to these circumstances are entirely within our command. Epictetus famously stated, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." This perspective offers a kind of liberation, shifting our focus from attempting to control what we cannot to mastering what lies within our personal domain. This emphasis on inner control rather than external manipulation guides us to invest our efforts wisely. The Stoics propose that our peace and contentment hinge not on the external world's behavior or events, but on how we manage ourselves in response. It encourages us to identify what truly lies within our power and let go of the futile struggle to shape what does not. This approach cultivates a mindset of inner strength, where our sense of peace is undisturbed by the unpredictable forces around us. By recognizing and committing to what we can control, we attain a freedom not subject to the whims of fortune or the actions of others. This focus on personal responsibility and intentional reaction forms the essence of a Stoic life. The dichotomy of control is not about withdrawing from the world or ignoring impact on it. Rather, it is about engaging with reality from a place of stability and self-command. Instead of exhausting ourselves trying to predict or manipulate external events, we dedicate ourselves to mastering our own actions and responses. This clarity enables us to face setbacks and uncertainties not with anxiety or frustration, but with purpose and resilience. Epictetus's lesson also speaks to how we manage our intentions in a world that often tests our patience and composure. The Stoics believed that intentions govern our actions, and when aligned with virtue, they provide a sense of purpose unaffected by external disruptions. By focusing on what we can control, we live in accordance with reason and maintain our inner equilibrium, even when the world around us becomes chaotic. This practice of honing our intentions is not simply a passive act, but a deliberate choice that reflects Stoic wisdom. In practicing the dichotomy of control, we build a foundation that allows us to navigate life's unpredictable nature with poise. This mindset doesn't imply a detachment from the world. Rather, it empowers us to be more present and grounded, to engage fully without being entangled in what is beyond our reach. Embracing this philosophy invites us to focus on the value of our decisions and the integrity of our responses, rather than on the uncontrollable outcomes of these actions. The core message is straightforward but profound. By dedicating our energies to what we can control, our choices, behaviors, and attitudes, we become less susceptible to the turmoil generated by things we cannot change. Instead of becoming ensnared in the endless cycles of frustration that arise from external concerns, we find peace in understanding that some things are simply not ours to control. In this way, the dichotomy of control is more than a philosophical abstraction. It is a guide for enduring contentment and strength amid life's uncertainties. Embracing this concept frees us from the burden of trying to control the uncontrollable, allowing us to live with intention, resilience, and peace. The Stoics invite us to turn our attention inward, where true control lies, and to engage with the world from this place of strength. The dichotomy of control serves not only as a foundation for Stoic thought, but as a timeless tool for anyone seeking clarity and calm in a world where change is the only constant. To inner mastery, Stoicism's connection to modern psychology and philosophy. This lesson intertwines deeply with broader philosophical and psychological theories, bridging ancient wisdom with modern insights. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychologist, emphasized the power of self-awareness and the personal responsibility that comes with it. Jung saw understanding one's inner world as essential to effectively navigating the external one. His ideas resonate closely with the Stoic belief that true mastery stems from within, that the locus of control lies not in the external chaos but in one's inner equilibrium. Aristotle's concept of eudaimonia, often translated as flourishing or living well, also aligns seamlessly with these ideas. Aristotle argued that a good life requires living according to virtue and reason, focusing on what we can control, our moral character and choices. This ethos parallels Stoic teachings, which also value internal character over the unpredictable nature of the external world. In essence, a well-lived life is crafted through deliberate, virtuous actions that stem from internal strength rather than reliance on external circumstances. Socrates further adds to this philosophy with his unyielding pursuit of knowledge. For Socrates, the value lay in constantly striving for wisdom, always questioning and reflecting on one's choices. His focus on the controllable aspects of life echoes the Stoic commitment to placing importance on one's own actions and judgments over anything that lies outside of personal influence. Through this synthesis of perspectives, the wisdom of Stoicism proves timeless, harmonizing with both ancient and modern views on personal agency and the pursuit of a fulfilling life. 3. Embracing life's flow, a Stoic path to inner peace. In his meditations, Marcus Aurelius frequently reflected on the significance of accepting the natural flow of events. For the Stoics, acceptance wasn't a passive surrender but a profound understanding of and alignment with the rhythm of life. Marcus wrote, "Accept whatever comes to you, woven in the pattern of your destiny. For what could more aptly fit your needs?" This approach suggests that true acceptance encompasses both favorable and challenging circumstances, not as concessions, but as steps toward greater wisdom. The Stoic perspective on acceptance is grounded in the idea that life is a tapestry of diverse experiences, each thread essential to the fabric as a whole. Embracing this reality fosters peace of mind, helping us to see life as a dynamic blend of change and constancy, joy and sorrow, success and setback. For the Stoics, this isn't about cultivating despair or nihilism. It's about fostering a serene acknowledgement of life's inevitable fluctuations. Aurelius's reflections remind us that accepting life's full spectrum of experiences means acknowledging our limited control over external events while recognizing our full agency over how we respond to them. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot dictate circumstances, we are entirely in charge of our judgments and attitudes. By choosing acceptance, we allow ourselves to live in harmony with nature's course, understanding that resistance only breeds inner turmoil. Life in this Stoic vision is not designed to conform to our desires. Instead, we are encouraged to align our desires with the natural unfolding of events. This doesn't imply we should become indifferent or detached from life's outcomes, but rather that we should cultivate resilience. The Stoic sage accepts, adapts, and thrives within the framework of reality, using reason as a guiding force to navigate life's challenges and uncertainties. Marcus's insights illuminate a path where we choose acceptance as an empowering practice that enhances both wisdom and resilience. Our acceptance, then, becomes a disciplined exercise of character, a continual choice to approach life with open arms rather than clenched fists. For the Stoic virtues wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. In Stoicism, virtue is the path to inner peace and an ethical life. Rather than being an abstract ideal, virtue represents practical principles to guide one's life toward fulfillment and balance. The four cardinal virtues that form the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, are both a map and a destination. These virtues are not rigid rules but flexible practices that help one develop clarity, purpose, and a greater sense of self. Wisdom, or the ability to discern between what is within our control and what is not, is a guiding light in Stoicism. To the Stoics, understanding the nature of things allows us to make sound judgments and free ourselves from unnecessary worries. Marcus Aurelius held wisdom in high esteem, seeing it as a critical tool for forming perspective and making rational decisions. Through wisdom, we learn that not every event deserves our emotional energy. By separating what we can influence from what we cannot, we align ourselves with reality rather than fighting against it. Wisdom is about clarity. It empowers us to see situations for what they truly are, cutting through the illusions of desire and fear that often cloud our vision. This virtue teaches us to let go of what we cannot change and invest our efforts where we have the power to make a difference. By practicing wisdom, we gain freedom from the chaos of circumstances beyond our control and foster an inner stability that remains undisturbed by external events. Courage, Stoic courage, is more than mere bravery. It involves facing physical challenges, certainly, but also extends to moral courage, the resilience to uphold what is right even in the face of adversity. Courage in Stoicism is not only about confronting fear, but embracing it as a part of the human experience, using it as a stepping stone rather than an obstacle. The Stoics understood that life would present hardship, pain, and uncertainty. To be courageous means to approach these moments without letting fear dictate our actions. By practicing courage, we prepare ourselves to respond to life's difficulties with grace and composure. Courage is the inner strength that pushes us to act with integrity, regardless of the outcome, because the value lies in the attempt, not necessarily the result. Stoic courage, then, is a commitment to meet adversity with a clear mind and a steady heart. Justice in Stoic philosophy represents fairness and respect for others. It is the commitment to treat each individual with equity and to uphold ethical interactions in all relationships. Justice transcends personal biases and reminds us of our interconnectedness. By acting justly, we fulfill our role in society and contribute to the greater good. Marcus Aurelius described justice as treating others with respect, regardless of their status or connection to us. This virtue prevents us from acting out of selfish interest and promotes kindness and cooperation. Justice demands that we consider the well-being of others as we pursue our goals, ensuring that our actions contribute positively to the lives around us. By practicing justice, we elevate our character and foster harmony, seeing ourselves as part of a broader community where our actions affect more than just ourselves. temperance. The virtue of temperance teaches us self-control and moderation. In Stoic practice, temperance is the art of managing desires and resisting excess. By practicing temperance, we develop the discipline to enjoy life without being enslaved by our cravings or impulses. This virtue guides us to take only what we need, valuing simplicity over indulgence. For the Stoics, temperance was essential to living a life free of turmoil. By controlling our desires, we become less vulnerable to disappointment and more appreciative of what we have. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, emphasized that true happiness comes from enjoying the present moment without anxiously clinging to future outcomes. This perspective encourages us to cultivate contentment and live fully in the present, finding joy in what is rather than yearning for what could be. In Stoicism, these virtues form a cohesive framework for a life of resilience, clarity, and ethical purpose. By practicing wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we create a foundation of inner strength that withstands life's fluctuations. Stoic virtues offer practical guidance, not through lofty ideals, but through actionable principles that invite us to live with integrity, balance, and fulfillment. Through this approach, Stoicism becomes not just a philosophy, but a way of life, reminding us that our character, cultivated with care, is the most profound form of freedom. 5. Embracing the moment. Stoic mindfulness for a grounded life. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, emphasized the power of living in the present, urging us not to be shackled by worries about the future or regrets over the past. For the Stoics, mindfulness is a conscious commitment to engage fully with the present moment. This approach, which they advocated over 2,000 years ago, resonates deeply with modern psychological practices like mindfulness-based stress reduction (MBSR) and other mindfulness therapies, which promote similar ideas. The principle is simple. By grounding ourselves in the here and now, we cultivate resilience and improve mental well-being, experiencing a decrease in stress and an increase in overall life satisfaction. Marcus Aurelius's meditations serve as an enduring reminder of the power of present moment awareness. "Confine yourself to the present," he wrote, a line that has become almost synonymous with Stoic teachings. For Aurelius and his fellow Stoics, living mindfully meant accepting each moment for what it is without embellishment or distraction. In practice, this involved an openness to experience that allows us to encounter each day without the cloud of our past anxieties or the uncertainties of tomorrow. This deliberate focus on what lies before us builds not only inner strength, but also clarity and calm, helping us respond to life's challenges with reason rather than reactivity. In modern psychology, this commitment to the present moment is understood as a tool for managing stress and promoting emotional resilience. Techniques like MBSR have roots in ancient mindfulness practices but are adapted to address contemporary mental health challenges. These methods encourage us to face life's complexities with a balanced and attentive mind, thereby reducing the influence of stressors. The Stoic approach aligns with this by providing a philosophical foundation for mindfulness that emphasizes not only living in the present, but also facing our experiences with honesty and acceptance. The Stoics teach us that much of our suffering stems not from external events, but from our reactions to them. Epictetus, a major figure in Stoic philosophy, asserted that people are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them. This insight forms the backbone of Stoic mindfulness. If we can observe our thoughts and reactions without judgment, we free ourselves from unnecessary mental strain. In the Stoic view, this doesn't mean avoiding life's problems. Rather, it means facing them with a sense of proportion and control, understanding that only our present actions are within our control. Practicing Stoic mindfulness is a conscious effort to recognize the limits of our influence over the world around us. It's a discipline that redirects our energy away from what's beyond our reach and instead channels it into purposeful engagement with the tasks at hand. This mindset is especially powerful in turbulent times, allowing us to preserve our mental energy and maintain a stable perspective. By focusing on what we can control, our responses, our actions, our thoughts, we craft a life built on a foundation of resilience and calm. For the Stoics, being present isn't about detachment from the world, but about embracing it more fully. When we release the weight of future anxieties and past regrets, we open ourselves to experiencing life with a richness and depth that is otherwise inaccessible. Mindful presence enables us to see things as they truly are, rather than through the lens of fear or longing. This clarity leads not only to a reduction in stress, but also to a fuller appreciation of life's simplicity and beauty. Today, when distractions and pressures often pull us in multiple directions, Stoic mindfulness offers a reminder to center ourselves on the present. By grounding ourselves in what we are doing now, we create mental space to live with a sense of purpose, unaffected by external demands or unnecessary worries. This Stoic approach to mindfulness is not about achieving a perfect state of calm, but about cultivating an enduring resilience and inner peace that remains steadfast, regardless of what the future may bring. Ultimately, Stoic mindfulness offers a practical path toward mental well-being, resilience, and joy. By remaining fully engaged in each moment, we free ourselves from the bonds of yesterday and tomorrow, achieving a clarity that brings both tranquility and strength into our lives. The Stoics remind us that happiness lies not in grand achievements or distant goals, but in the here and now. Finding contentment, gratitude, and acceptance in Stoic wisdom. Seneca's teachings remind us that true happiness doesn't lie in chasing more, but in genuinely appreciating what we already have. He once remarked, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." This insight serves as a profound reminder that unchecked desires can lead us to a state of ongoing dissatisfaction and inner turmoil, keeping us constantly at odds with the present moment and in conflict with ourselves. Gratitude, from a Stoic perspective, acts as an anchor to help us focus on what is currently within our reach. Rather than letting our thoughts drift to what is absent, we cultivate a sense of appreciation for what is here. To be grateful in this way is not to ignore ambition or the drive to improve oneself. Instead, it is to balance these aspirations with a sense of contentment rooted in the present, so we don't lose sight of what we already possess. This emphasis on gratitude is also closely tied to acceptance. For Stoics, acceptance isn't about passive resignation, but a form of strength that arises when we stop battling against circumstances beyond our control. By cultivating acceptance, we develop resilience, a way to meet life with equanimity, recognizing that much of what we strive to change lies outside our influence. In this way, acceptance complements gratitude, helping us navigate life's uncertainties with greater tranquility. Seneca understood that without gratitude, our minds become restless, perpetually longing for what could be, rather than resting in what is. This endless craving only fuels frustration and discontent. By redirecting our focus, gratitude helps us appreciate the fullness of our lives in this moment. It reframes our desires, turning them from sources of constant yearning into reminders of what we already have. In embracing this philosophy, we allow ourselves to find contentment in life as it is, rather than constantly aspiring for life as it could be. 7. Self-improvement through Stoic resilience. Stoicism is not a static philosophy, it is a dynamic journey of self-improvement, continuous learning, and adaptation. Practicing the virtues and principles of Stoicism requires persistence, a dedicated commitment that allows us to maintain calm and control, especially in turbulent times. This commitment is about transcending our personal limits, cultivating resilience, and moving forward with a sense of ethical purpose and fulfillment. To live as a Stoic is to take on the work of refining oneself daily, embracing both successes and setbacks as part of a larger pursuit of virtue. Resilience is not merely enduring hardships, it is finding strength through them, viewing each challenge as a stepping stone toward a more composed and focused self. The path of Stoicism teaches us that by persistently returning to its core principles, we can become more adaptable and centered, ready to face whatever life brings. This journey of improvement, however, does not rely solely on grand acts or singular insights. Instead, it is found in the steady, consistent application of Stoic virtues: courage, temperance, wisdom, and justice. These virtues are like muscles that grow stronger with regular exercise. By committing to this Stoic discipline, we actively work to close the gap between who we are and who we aspire to be, turning resilience into a personal cornerstone. In the face of adversity, the Stoic remains unmoved, not because of an absence of feeling, but because of a deeper understanding of control. We learn to accept what lies beyond our influence, while taking responsibility for what we can change. This approach cultivates inner peace, a balanced outlook where challenges are no longer sources of frustration but opportunities for growth. Practicing Stoic resilience, therefore, means embracing reality as it is, rather than as we wish it to be. By pursuing Stoic self-improvement, we learn not to seek perfection but to progress steadily. We are reminded that the journey toward virtue is lifelong, requiring patience and constant reflection. Each moment becomes a chance to align our actions with our principles, reinforcing our resilience and commitment to a life led by reason, purpose, and calm persistence. In the Stoic view, self-growth is not a destination but a continuous process, one that strengthens our character and equips us with the tools to face life's unpredictability with grace. 8. Mastering inner peace, Stoic control amid life's challenges. Epictetus once remarked, "It's not events that disturb us, but our interpretations of them." This statement captures a foundational insight in Stoicism, providing a pathway toward inner peace independent of life's external chaos. Instead of being swayed by unexpected circumstances, Stoic philosophy teaches that tranquility depends not on the external world, but on the internal choices we make in response to it. The essence of this approach aligns well with modern psychological frameworks, particularly cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT). In CBT, the focus is on how cognitive responses shape emotional and behavioral outcomes, mirroring Stoicism's emphasis on personal agency over circumstances. Both Stoicism and CBT underscore that by changing our mindset, we can fundamentally alter our emotional experiences and behavior. This is not about dismissing emotions or suppressing thoughts, but about guiding them in constructive ways that foster resilience and clarity. The Stoic framework advocates a disciplined focus on what lies within our control, rejecting the false allure of external validation or guaranteed outcomes. At its core, this discipline is about distinguishing what we can change: our thoughts, attitudes, and responses from what we cannot, such as others' actions or unpredictable life events. Epictetus's guidance reminds us that while life unfolds in complex, often unexpected ways, our reactions remain within our grasp. This perspective dovetails with Aristotle's philosophy on character development. Aristotle emphasized the value of cultivating a virtuous character, one equipped to respond to life's unpredictabilities with wisdom and reason. A strong moral character enables us to make choices that align with virtue, thus supporting our psychological stability and moral integrity. Both Stoicism and Aristotelian ethics promote the idea that how we react to situations shapes our moral and emotional resilience. The practice of focusing on internal rather than external factors may seem challenging in today's environment, where external pressures and expectations often weigh heavily on our minds. The Stoics, however, urge us to consistently turn inward, fostering an internal locus of control that protects our mental clarity. By aligning our responses with rational thinking and ethical values, we can navigate life's uncertainties with a steady and composed outlook, regardless of external chaos. Stoicism does not demand perfection or detachment from all emotions. Instead, it encourages mindful engagement with our reactions. Epictetus and other Stoics teach us to refine our responses, not by ignoring emotions, but by consciously choosing how we let them affect us. 9. The art of mindfulness, living fully in the present moment. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the significance of living in the present, urging us not to be swept away by worries about the future or regrets about the past. To Aurelius, grounding ourselves in the current moment was essential for achieving a fulfilling and peaceful life. This notion resonates closely with modern mindfulness practices, especially those aimed at stress reduction, such as mindfulness-based stress reduction (MBSR). Like mindfulness, Aurelius' teachings emphasize mental well-being through full presence, arguing that a life fully engaged in the present is one of lower stress and greater happiness. In both Stoic philosophy and contemporary psychology, being mindful is a call to reduce the inner noise that clouds our experiences. This presence is not merely about noticing our surroundings, but engaging with them intentionally. Mindfulness encourages a state of active engagement in which each moment, however mundane, is approached with clarity and openness. Rather than allowing ourselves to be caught up in a cascade of thoughts or distractions, mindfulness cultivates a mental space where we can observe our reactions and interactions with the world calmly and attentively. Aurelius suggested that by anchoring ourselves to the present, we free our minds from the anxieties that often accompany future-focused or backward-looking thoughts. In his meditations, he wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." This advice serves as a reminder that although we can neither predict nor change every aspect of life, we can control our focus. By consciously choosing to engage fully in the now, we become less susceptible to the whirlwinds of worry and regret that often lead us astray. From a psychological standpoint, modern mindfulness practices echo these principles. MBSR and other mindfulness-based therapies have been widely adopted in therapeutic contexts for their ability to alleviate stress, reduce anxiety, and improve overall happiness. The central tenet of these approaches, rooted in the idea of conscious presence, is that by immersing ourselves in the current experience, we lessen the emotional toll of past or future-oriented thinking. These practices empower individuals to observe thoughts without judgment, fostering a self-awareness that enhances resilience and well-being. In practicing mindfulness, one learns to appreciate the subtle details often overlooked in daily life, the sounds, colors, textures, and sensations that exist only in the present. Aurelius' philosophy aligns here, promoting an intentional engagement with reality as it is, rather than how we wish it to be. This level of acceptance cultivates a sense of gratitude, providing peace amid life's uncertainties and constant change. Mindfulness, in its essence, is not about emptying the mind, but about guiding it toward a focused, attentive state. Aurelius taught that by quieting the distractions within, we can find clarity and calm in the present. This clarity allows us to approach each moment with purpose and integrity, cultivating a life that aligns with our values. Through this Stoic lens, mindfulness becomes not merely a therapeutic tool, but a pathway to self-mastery, encouraging us to live thoughtfully and authentically. In a world where constant connectivity often pulls us away from the here and now, both ancient Stoic wisdom and modern mindfulness remind us of the profound strength found in presence. To live mindfully is to honor each moment as it comes, allowing us to experience life's richness without the weight of regret or fear. Embracing this approach, we may find that the simple act of being fully present is one of the most powerful and transformative practices available to us. 10. Embracing every experience, the Stoic path to gratitude. Seneca, a central figure in Stoic philosophy, highlights the power of recognizing and appreciating what we have, finding joy in life's simplest daily moments, and understanding the intrinsic worth of every experience, whether deemed good or bad. In his words, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have. This Stoic approach to gratitude invites us to focus on the present and discover a deep contentment within our current circumstances. Gratitude, as understood in Stoicism, encourages us to detach from the relentless pursuit of what could be and instead engage fully with what is. This perspective offers a grounding force, one that helps temper the highs and lows that often accompany our expectations for the future. By choosing to see value in both pleasant and challenging experiences, we cultivate resilience and foster a profound sense of inner peace. This approach doesn't mean ignoring challenges or discomforts, but rather acknowledging them as parts of the whole, an opportunity to grow and understand life more fully. The idea of gratitude as a form of balance finds its echoes across philosophical traditions and in modern psychology. Aristotle spoke of the mean, a balanced state between extremes, advocating that a well-lived life is one that recognizes and values what one has rather than always reaching for more. This balanced perspective aligns with the Stoic vision of a life well lived, where satisfaction is not derived from fleeting pleasures or anticipated gains, but rather from a steady awareness of the present moment's offerings. Modern psychology, particularly the field of positive psychology, builds on this notion by identifying gratitude as a key element for happiness and life satisfaction. Studies show that people who regularly practice gratitude tend to experience higher levels of well-being, stronger relationships, and greater resilience to stress. This is because gratitude reorients our focus, shifting our mindset from scarcity to abundance, from yearning to acceptance. By appreciating what is before us, we often find that the present is not lacking, but rather rich with unnoticed gifts and meaning. In practicing gratitude, the Stoic does not ignore adversity, but instead sees it as an essential part of life's tapestry. Every event, whether delightful or challenging, has something to teach. By welcoming each experience, we learn to view life through a wider lens, one that sees obstacles not as roadblocks but as stepping stones to growth. Through this practice, gratitude becomes a daily discipline, a habit of acknowledging the full spectrum of life's experiences, and an antidote to the restless drive for more that often clouds our awareness. Stoicism thus offers a blueprint for living with appreciation, not by avoiding life's hardships but by embracing them, recognizing that every moment holds its own significance. By training ourselves to be present and grateful, we learn to enjoy what is here, right now, without needing to control or predict what lies ahead. Embracing this perspective ultimately leads us to a form of freedom, a liberation from the need for future outcomes to define our happiness. In the Stoic view, life's richness is found not in what we gain but in how we perceive what is already ours.